So like everything like you see in the media that you thought that would be beneficial for you,
Mm,
like you thought that the media would be something that would provide good information, provide something that would help you. Instead, they're providing insecurity. They're providing, things that make you
that's true.
question about
That's
who
true.
you are. And that's
Mm,
quite sad, to be honest, because I wish that people in higher power, people who have this influence would,
mm,
do something about
yeah,
like
yeah,
love your skin, love your
that's
body. You are
true.
born with this and you just
Yeah,
have to work with what you have and
yeah.
hopefully not change that.
Welcome to the Hello Dai Podcast. We are your hosts, Sheila
and Misha.
We are two childhood best friends who are now ambitious working moms trying to manage it all while conquering our dreams. Started this podcast to create a safe space for women to be their unapologetic selves.
Each episode contains powerful stories from both of us and other women sharing the real, raw, and honest stories and insights on adulthood, motherhood, self-improvement, being a woman in today's society, and everything in between.
If you're looking for digital BFFs, you're in the right place.
So without further ado, let's hear from today's podcast.
Hello,
Hello,
Dai.
Dai. Welcome to another episode of the Hello Dai podcast. For me, though, I'm very excited for today's topic. Everywhere you go, there's always, different beauty standards. Me and Misha, we both have our fair share of struggles fitting into these beauty standards for sure. For me, though, I can only talk about my experience here in the Philippines. I can't really talk about what it's like in America.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I grew up in the Philippines, so I do also I was able to experience those beauty standards
yeah.
per se, and like seeing it here in America, it's completely different and changed my whole perspective
Mm,
about beauty standards.
yeah.
So, yeah, how was your experience? What can you say about like what beauty standards have you set for yourself, or what other people have set that you felt like you had to meet?
Well, it's actually very funny though, because in elementary, I didn't really think of myself as very pretty. And I feel like I probably realized that, oh, there's kind of I don't know, kind of a beauty standard. Like we only see it in school. So back in the day, it's usually you and Jazza who's always like the, I don't know, kind of sought after. I mean, it didn't really bother me that
No,
much.
no,
I feel that's
no,
how I feel. That's how I felt though. Like you were kind of the it girls
no.
during that time. This is my impression though.
Okay, because
Because I was kind of,
it's not the case for me. But okay,
oh
go ahead.
really? It feels like that for me in my perspective though. But I think the only time that I realized that, I would say, I'm conventionally pretty in a Filipino, especially growing up. I was a bit more in a lighter,
Skin
color,
tone. Yeah.
yeah, skin tone.
Yes.
But I didn't really realize I was pretty at all or anything like that. It was until there was a guy, our classmate actually, and then he gave me like a letter for Valentine's and something, and I didn't really expect that he had like a crush on me or something, because I thought that you and Jazza were kind of like, and I never really think about someone would have, interest in me beyond like my one crush during that time. You know him, right? That was the only guy I really cared about during that
Mm.
time. And then moving on to high school, I feel like that was really the time where I kind of realized that, oh, I feel like, yeah, probably I might be pretty, because during that time in elementary, like you're kids, you don't really, I feel like you don't really think about beauty too much compared in high school. In high school, it was kind of like a starting for me, like, because there's more different people. Like, I feel like there were so many students in that school. And so, you can see different faces and like, you can
From
compare
different
and something like
schools.
that. Yeah. And I noticed that some of the girls, they would just, talk, stuff about me. And like, I didn't really do anything. I feel like throughout the high school, I was kind of, maybe they always say that I look pretty. I never really heard anyone saying that I'm ugly or anything like that. But I never really considered myself like, oh, like, I'm pretty or whatever like that. And yeah, I think, and then after that, I moved to a different school. And then I was with you already at that
Mm.
time. And, I didn't really mind too much about like I will be the prettiest girl in the school. That's not really my mindset at the time. When I go to college, I even felt more prettier actually, because most of the time there were
Puberty.
boys.
Puberty.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like in my first year college, that was the time I really felt like, oh, I'm really pretty. And there was a complete shift when I went to Cebu. It's a whole different, it really humbled me. It really kind of made me a bit like looking at myself like, I don't know, I just feel like I need to upgrade or something like that.
Mhm.
And I feel like our generation, you and me, I feel like we are kind of lucky that we didn't really grow up with social media, because for me, when I think it was the time when Snapchat came over. I think like I was in college. I mean, Instagram before were pretty much kind of candid, right? It's like posting like your what you ate in the morning. It's very candid. It's not like Instagram model or whatsoever. And the algorithm, it just shows you kind of who you follow. So you don't really see strangers as often,
Mhm.
right? But right now you can kind of see
Yes.
different posts from strangers. So at the time I didn't really feel any of insecurity from social media. But then when Snapchat, came over,
I feel like Snapchat and Snapchat filters are a big thing back
yeah,
in the day. Those
yeah.
doggy
But
filters.
yeah, but it was just more like cute, things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like it also enhanced your face though. That's why people
Mm,
always used it. So
yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, I think it has to do with the Kardashians, of course. And then I feel like they were really like a huge, as they say, like kind of icons. Like they really started something in the space, and that led to influencers. I feel like the rise of influencers. But yeah, what about you, Dai?
it's just funny how you thought that I was like, an it girl. Because
That's how I feel.
I wasn't. I didn't feel like it. I felt like I had a personality. I felt like my personality like was shining because I did speak English, so I kind of stood out a little bit more because of how I talk. I didn't really know the our dialect. That's very sad to say. I didn't
Mm,
really know our dialect because I grew up in a household where we primarily spoke in English. So I felt like that would kind of make me stand out a little bit more. But I never felt like the prettiest girl in the room. I never really cared until like when I was like fourth or fifth grade, where I wanted someone and I couldn't get him because he liked someone else, and that kind of made me feel insecure that he doesn't like me because I'm not as white, I'm not as fair as she is, right? And then in high school, um, I would be kind of jealous with people who are more fair skinned because then glutathione is a big thing. Whitening soaps are a big thing. I even tried to put contact lenses in because I just wanted the aesthetic and I wanted to look
mm.
different. But gosh, I couldn't poke my eyes
Yeah,
with the
I
lens.
remember you in high school.
I didn't.
Were you?
My
Oh, in high
sister
school.
had it. My sister had it,
Ah,
and
yeah.
then I tried to use some of hers, and I probably used it once because it hurt.
Can you share contact lenses?
I had to borrow because I was not very it's not
Yeah,
very clean to do
hygiene.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
very hygienic, but she had it and I wanted to try it.
yeah. Mm.
Wanted to be one of the girls that had contact lenses in and had fair skin, tried to dye my hair. It was just crazy. And then me being also like even throughout college, I'm darker than you skin tone wise. You are definitely lighter. So I'm definitely like darker in skin tone, like closer to morena, like brown.
Mm.
And like when I was in college, most of the group of people that I was like surrounded with are fair skinned. And I've noticed a higher attraction rate to people who are like part Chinese or like have foreign blood in them because they are fair
Yeah,
skinned or they
right.
have colored eyes or
Mm.
like they just stood out more compared to like
Yeah,
darker skinned people or brown
right.
people. Um which is kind of sad because then I do know people who got themselves injected for glutathione, had soaps, had if you see the shelves in the Philippines, it's mostly like whitening soaps, whitening lotions, whitening everything, brightening products.
Yeah.
And it's just sad because like right now where I am in the
Mhm.
United States.
And even like on advertisement, right? Like
Yes.
before, we can see the comparison. Like they would show kind of the girl who's like in a darker shade, and
Yes.
she's very sad, and she's very like it's portrayed that she's ugly. And then when she used this product, she got
Lighter.
white, and people were staring at her, and
Mhm.
it boosts her confidence, and she's even more happier. So yeah, I think we constantly see that as I think in the TV before. So
Yeah, and I just feel like it's very sad because naturally our color being brown actually is quite nice because we actually have, you know, we have less chances of getting skin cancer because we do have, I forgot what it's called, melanin, I think.
Melon, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because like I actually saw somewhere on TikTok where she's an American, she's white, and
Mhm.
she got some
Skin cancer.
cancer because
Yeah, skin
yeah, because
cancer.
she was
Sunbathing.
sunbathing. Yeah,
Yeah, so when
sunbathing.
you
Yeah,
sunbathe, you just basically soak yourself in the sun, and if you don't have
yeah.
enough like SPF, UV
Oh,
rays get
okay.
into your skin and you get skin cancer. I'm not a
Oh,
scientist, I'm not a doctor, so don't
is
quote
that
me on that.
more like a thing? Is that like
Yes,
more like
because
a thing for
you have
Americans?
less, so you have less melanin in your skin because that's why you're lighter.
Oh,
The darker
okay.
you are, the more melanin that you have, which protects your skin
Oh,
from burning and creating cancer. At least
makes
that's what I've
sense.
heard. Okay, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, so you can do your own research. But like my husband, he forgets to put sunscreen and he just like works and he's like red and burning, like he looks like a
Oh,
lobster. And then
so
here I
that's
am.
why they're super red, right?
Yes, and they look like a tomato, a lobster, you can call whatever. It's
Mm,
He's red, and here I am just brown, just like nothing happened because
yeah.
sun affects me less
Hmm.
compared to him because he is like he's a, if you don't know my husband, he is a white man. He is a white American. So yeah, he burns really bad. And now that I'm here in the United States, I get a lot of compliments with my skin because I'm olive skin. That's what they call it. Um,
Olive.
yeah, I know olive is supposed to be green, but I guess olive is considered brown.
Mm.
But yeah, they always compliment. I was like, I love your skin. Or like, did you like go to a tanning salon? Where did you tan? I was like, girl, this is natural. I didn't do anything for it. I was born with it. So I guess I feel a lot appreciated here and people appreciate that. Americans tan, okay? Filipinos whiten. And it's sad that people have to adjust their skin tones just
Mhm.
to match what they consider beauty, which is quite
Right.
sad, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I did try those whitening lotions and whitening soaps, but they didn't work on me.
I actually did try that though, even though probably I would say I was fair skin. I
Yes.
did try scrubbing what do you call this calamansi and stuff.
Yes.
And it really
Burned.
stung.
Yeah.
It really burns a lot, and I really enjoyed it because I thought that it would make me. It wasn't really that I wanted to be whiter. I just want the
Dark
darker
spots.
spots
Yeah.
to whiten, like the underarms and like
Yeah.
yeah, some areas. Even now, that's still my problem though. I did mention to you, Misha, that I'm kind of considering on probably kind of improving my skin, like beauty wise. And I was, contemplating if I should go tan or, kind of brighten my skin because my problem is like kind of, unevenness. So I just want things to kind of, go a bit even.
Mhm.
And tanning is not an option because there aren't a lot of, tanning sprays, and it's always whitening. And I just thought that maybe I was just gonna go with my, original color, which is like a bit like in a fair, fair color.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it is sad though because I would say that a lot of people, especially that they're probably a bit darker, like naturally, and then they would go into gluta drip, that's IV drips. That's
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
would get sessions. And there are some people that almost died. I did watch a documentary about it, the obsession with Filipinos about whitening, and some of the IV drips. Like there are
Uh-huh.
like some sort of unauthorized person who would do it. Like it's like a freelancing, and they would go
Yeah.
to your home and they would do it. And there are some risks to it for sure. Like
Mhm. Infections and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
if not
So
properly done. Yeah.
yeah, and it's also expensive though to maintain. I've actually kind of did my research. Like if you would look at YouTube, if you would search paano pumuti, like there's a huge number of views all the time. It would reach millions for
Gosh,
those videos, like paano ko pumuti, like from, those kind of videos really perform well. And
that's
yeah,
sad.
like they would just show like different products and they're sometimes a bit costly and it's very high maintenance. So
I
yeah.
mean, because you're going to change your something that you were born with. Of course, it's going to be
Mm,
high maintenance and it's going to be expensive because you are changing something that
yeah.
you were born with. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong because we do stuff to ourselves that make us confident. What makes me
Mm,
sad is that we're not happy, because we're not happy with what we're born with because of the expectations that are being set for us. So, like,
mm,
we see celebrities, they are, most of them are light skinned.
yeah.
Sadly enough, most of them are light skinned in the Philippines when it comes to celebrities and stuff like that. And
Mm,
because we idolize these people, we see them and we think that because they're popular, because that they are light skinned, they have so
right.
and so features, and I want those features so I can be
Yeah.
acknowledged. So like everything, like you see in the media that you thought that would be beneficial for you,
Mm,
like you thought that the media would be something that would provide good information, provide, you know something that would help you. Instead, they're providing insecurity, they're providing, things that make you
that's true.
question about
That's
who
true.
you are. And that's
Mm,
quite sad, to be honest, because I wish that people in higher power, people who have this influence, would,
mm,
do something about
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
love your skin, love your
That's
body. You are
true.
born with this and you just
Yeah.
have to work with what you have and
Yeah.
hopefully not change that,
Yeah.
and
That's true.
unfortunately that is not the case. And now
This,
they're gaining money
mm,
from it and gaining
yeah.
insecurity.
Yeah, capitalizing on women's insecurity is a
Yeah.
real thing. Like, have you actually see, like, I saw this TikTok where I always, even for myself, I always wonder why, for example, shave, it's more cheaper for men, but if you add pink, like a pink
A pink
shave, it's more
tax.
expensive. Yeah, pink tax. That's the thing. Like, why is it? I always thought, why is it more expensive? It's actually the same thing. Like, the men's shave is actually, it has like 3 blades, and it's cheaper compared to like the 2 blades shave because it's pink. It's more expensive. I really didn't understand why. And they always advertise it as women's, and it's more expensive.
Yeah.
And just there's actually a lot of jokes about men. They would just use one product for everything, for
Yeah.
the hair, body, face. For women, we have like different stuff
Yes.
we use. Like, I don't know, I
Because
am
like
guilty. I have different products though for my body and face.
yes, like it's just crazy because we have like 5 to 10 skincare items
Yeah.
versus men that just probably have one or probably none at all. And
Yeah, they
it's
have
just,
nice skin.
I don't think it's even like they have nice skin. It's because we women have this standard of like, I want to have flawless skin. I want to have,
Mm,
I want to be the super best version of myself. And guys don't, some, not all, some guys don't care. If this is how I look, this is what you get. If
yeah.
women had that mentality, we would have all these products that we have,
Yeah.
because we look at people who we don't want to age quickly, because
Mm,
then we have like the standard where I want to
yeah.
age like fine wine, you know?
Yeah.
I want to age beautifully. I want to be, we set the standard for ourselves that it makes it very difficult and very expensive to achieve.
Yeah. That's
Skincare products
true.
are not cheap.
They're not. Yeah. I was actually, I've never really, like did my research about that, like the skincare products and stuff. It's just been recently since I did
Yes.
that. Because for me though, I never really had any severe acne problem or pimples growing up, and so I only used like one product for that. I didn't really do my research about it because I thought that like when you see on social media, they will actually have these like collection of products and like they would show their shelves and something and they have
Yeah.
different products. And I just felt, oh, do I really need that much product to have
Yeah.
that kind of skin? But I feel like when I went to the makeup class that I went to, they really emphasized the importance of doing your skin. And it was actually pretty simple. You don't really need that much products, really. I
Yeah.
think you just need, I think, a few products. Then,
You need
yeah, that was a
sunscreen. You need
sunscreen for
sunscreen.
sure. They always emphasize
And
sunscreen, yeah.
moisturizer.
A
I think
moisturizer.
those are like the
Mm,
two things that I can only remember for my life. And that's the only things that I apply is
mm.
moisturizer. I even
Yeah,
forget moisturizer and sunscreen. And
yeah.
at least in my generation or our generation, and even growing up, probably how we grew up, is that we
Mm,
never really cared for those. We just used the bar soap, for crying out loud, Kojic soap, and put it in our face, and that was it. And sometimes
yeah.
even Safeguard and put it in my face. I
Mm,
never really cared, as to what I put in my face, my hair. Never
mm,
really cared. Recently, with this all influencer TikTok and all these platforms that we can actually promote certain things, it boomed like crazy, like especially during COVID where people had nothing to do.
yeah,
People started talking about skincare, how to care for your skin. And
yeah.
I look at these and they're like 10 steps and I'm like, my
Mm,
mind is like,
yeah.
wow,
I
this
don't
is too
know. There's a
much.
lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. Especially as a mom, I'm like, I forget.
Yeah.
I forget two things.
Yeah,
Two
well, actually,
things.
I did kind of because I work in the I work with social media, so I kind of
Yes.
see and I work with like in the beauty industry, and it is a bit tricky though if you work with brands, especially now people are
Mhm.
more conscious about what they
Yes.
buy and kind of what the brand represents.
Yes.
But I can tell you that in 2015, like Snapchat, it was more on makeup, right? Do you remember the time when people would collect like makeup products from different brands and like they would have drawers for their
Yes.
makeup collection? And that was kind of my goal before, like, oh, I wish to have that, and right now, oh my God, that's just, a lot of products and you can never really finish those. And
Yep.
I think when COVID happens, there was a shift because people
Yes.
don't go out anymore. And so that's when they buy and they're kind of I mean, the skincare industry was more like really boom during that time. And I really kind of became insecure with my skin because I just depended on makeup. I never really cared about like my bare face because like I have like a dry skin. It's not really that moisturized, so I cannot flex my clean girl. I mean, the clean girl aesthetic, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of what's in right now. I don't have that. I always depended on makeup to for me to look good.
I get that. I wish I was comfortable with my bare face as I am with
Correct.
my face with
That's
makeup.
another different standard though, because I think with makeup, you can, work your way around it. Like, it's makeup, right? It really depends on how good you are doing your makeup.
Yeah.
With skincare though, it's like, your bare face. So I feel like it's more investment compared to makeup because I think like there's also, people deal with acne issues that like you cannot really just handle if you just put on like skincare products. You really need to go to a professional.
I mean, I do agree with skincare. I mean, I wish I knew about it sooner.
Yeah, true, true.
Because now
I
I'm
would
just
have
stuck.
flawless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm just stuck with my ways where I just stick with like one to two things because my brain cannot handle. Because if I had known it before and had
Yeah.
practiced it to this day, I think I'd
Mm.
have very nice skin.
High schoolers now I have our
Oh
clean girl
yeah, they're like,
aesthetic. Like
I'm jealous. But
yeah.
I think skincare is good because it actually
Mm-mm.
allows you to be more confident with your bare face because you are
Yeah, that's
cleansing
true.
it from you're not covering it up. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying makeup
That's
is
true.
just to cover up.
Yeah,
It's also to build confidence and stuff like that.
that's true.
But it would be nice to go back
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah, not really like altering how they look, but
yeah,
more
y-
improving their,
yeah, enhancing it for sure.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
always pros and cons to everything.
Mm,
So best to do what's best for you. Whatever makes you comfortable and confident in who you are. And I think that's what truly matters. It just I guess I just feel sad that we are not confident in how we are born, like the features that we were born with. That's just sad to me, and how people are promoting insecurity without realizing it, or maybe they do realize it, but they're still doing it. So
Yeah.
I guess hopefully we can lift each other up, just compliment someone who you think that might need it, or even if they don't need it, just compliment someone, because I feel like that complimenting someone or appreciating someone physically is a big thing. It helps. It
Yeah.
boosts that little confidence. Now, if you compliment me, I'll probably be all weird about it. I'll be like, oh no, no, no. No, you are prettier. Because I'm really weird like that. I'm very awkward because I'm not used to getting so much compliments. But
Mm.
I just get all weird and awkward about it. So if you do compliment me, I'll be all awkward about it. But I deep inside I get flattered. So do compliment me. I'll be awkward, but I will accept it deep inside,
Well, I
friends.
don't know. Before I just smile. I really don't know how to, you
I
know,
know. It's
like you don't just smile though. Every
so
time I get, but the best compliment that I always get are from women.
yes.
It's a whole different feeling when you get compliment from women. Like, and you can actually tell if they're really genuine about their compliment, though they're not being like,
Yeah.
shady about it. But when a woman really is genuine, like you can really feel it, and that's
Yeah.
you really feel beautiful though. Like there was this one beautiful woman. She's already gorgeous, okay? She actually complimented me, and she was really genuine about it. And yeah, it really made my day though. I really felt super pretty compared like to all the guys who complimented me in total.
Yeah, because I feel like guys, they have like intentions as to why they're saying it, but for
Yeah,
females, like they have a
yeah.
certain standard, and then he's like,
Hmm.
"Oh my gosh, I met her standard."
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of why. I mean, let me tell you, I went to a bar, and then like women are drunk, but they
Hmm.
said, "Girl, you are gorgeous," but they're drunk, and then it's like, "Ugh, I still take it though. I'll still
Yeah.
take it. I look red, like with alcohol
Hmm.
in my system," but he's like, "Oh, girl, you're so pretty." It's just
Yeah.
like drunk bathroom girl conversations. I
Yeah.
I will still take those, even though if they're not genuine at that moment, I will take it.
Some people when they drink they tell the truth,
Yeah, that's what I tell myself.
yeah.
That's what I tell myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need to go to bars more often so I get compliments.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just
Well,
funny.
yeah, that's what I feel all the time though. I don't get much compliment anymore aside from my kids and my husband. So that's the only two sources that I get compliments from.
Well, definitely enjoyed this discussion. We've definitely tackled about the Philippines as to the standards that they have kind of set for Filipinos and Filipinas, and in general, how sad it is, and hopefully we can find our, what makes us confident, and hopefully kind of stick to that and continue to enhance and grow and love ourselves even more.
Okay, I think that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for listening and hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.